Howdy boys and girls, this is Mrs. Dunn. Today we're going to be talking about rates and unit rates. These go along with proportions, so let's get started by talking about the definition of a rate. A rate is a comparison by division of two quantities that have different units. So it's still a ratio. We're comparing two things, but they have different units. So let's give some examples of what we see when we're talking about rates. We're talking about things like miles per gallon, dollars per hour, miles per hour. So how many miles to the gallon your car get? That's how fuel efficient it is. Dollars per hour, how much are you getting paid per hour if you have a per hour job? How many miles per hour? That's how fast you're going. So what we notice for all of these is this per, and then it tells us our unit. So a unit rate or a unit cost. A unit rate is the rate for one per each. So you see it's per every time. So we could say miles for each gallon, dollars for each hour, miles each hour. Unit cost is like unit rate, but it's dealing with the cost. It's the cost for one of something. So if you look at the grocery store, next time you go to the grocery store and you're going down the cereal aisle, and you look at those big boxes of cereal and you look at the price tag, it will usually tell you the price of the cereal, but it also tells you in a smaller little letters, numbers, it'll tell you the unit cost, and that usually is how much it costs for an ounce of the product. Or if you're buying like cereal bars or granola bars or fruit snacks, it maybe tells you how much each package costs, each piece, each unit, and it's the price per that unit. So that's our unit costs. We can use that understanding to help us with Best Buy. So if you're going to be a good comparison shopper and get the best buy, you would have to know how to use unit cost. Okay, so let's look at a couple of problems where we're going to work that out. Our first one says a car traveled 54 miles in 6 minutes. How many minutes per mile? Okay, so it's asking us for minutes per mile. That means I'm looking for 1 mile. So when I show my relationship, I'm going to write minutes and miles. Right now it says that it's 54 miles in 6 minutes. My minutes goes on top for this, and my miles is on bottom because it's asking for 1 mile. So I'm going to put the per, and what's on the bottom is my miles, and I want to get down to 1. How long does it take me to go 1 mile is what it's asking. Well, there's two ways to solve that. We have a relationship and we have cross multiply. I can get from 54 to 1. I'm going from a large number down to a small number. That means I'm going to divide. I have to divide by 54. So I divide the top by 54. So that's 6 divided by 54. That's top number in the house. Now 54 doesn't go into 6, so I'm going to add my decimal point and my 0. 54 goes into 60 one time. I take away that 54. I have 6 left over. I'm going to add another 0, bring that 0 down. 54 goes into 60 one time. And hopefully you'll see we have a pattern developing here where we have a repeating decimal. So my answer is going to be 0.11 repeating minutes per mile. So about 11 hundredths of a minute is how long it takes me to go 1 mile. Now if I set this up and I was going to cross multiply, we will see that cross multiplying is basically finding a relationship because I'm always going to have a 1 as my second number here. So when I cross multiply, I'm just multiplying my number by 1, which brings me back to my number, and then divide. So it's really the same thing. It's still 6 divided by 54, which again equals that 11 hundredths repeating. Okay, so let's look at another example. This is an example of a Best Buy. So it says Tacos Del Tacos are 3 for $3.99, and tacos at Taco Bell are 4 for $5. What is the Best Buy? We're going to go ahead and assume that these two taco places make the exact same amazing tacos. So we are going to figure out which one's cheaper to buy. That means I'm going to figure out my unit price. I'm going to find the unit cost for one taco. So I'm going to do the cost per unit, per taco. I'm going to start with Del Taco first. So the cost for Del Taco is $3.99 for 3. I'm going to figure out what it is for 1. So cross multiplying is the same thing as just dividing. So I'm going to divide this out, $3.99 and 3. Put my decimal point up. 3 goes into 3 one time. Take that 3 out. Bring that 9 down. 3 goes into 9 3 times. Subtract that 9, get a 0. Bring my last 9 down. 3 goes into 9 3 times. That zeroes out, and I'm left with 0. So each taco at Del Taco is $1.33. It's $1.33 per taco. It looks like I'm running out of a little bit of room, but we're going to do Taco Bell now. It's still the cost per taco. Our tacos at Taco Bell are $5 for 4 of them, but I need to figure out the unit price, and that's just for 1 taco. So this is the cost per taco again. Cross multiply and divide. So if I do that, again, I would get $1.25 when I divide that out. So each of my tacos here cost $1.25. So if I'm price comparing, I see that my tacos from Taco Bell are actually cheaper. So if the quality is the same, I'm going to go ahead and go to Taco Bell because I'm going to be able to pay less for the same amount. Okay, so hopefully we've gotten a little bit of an understanding, and we're going to work through some problems in class about unit rates. Thank you.